But first, tensions mount at Francis Howell.
These policies won't allow students to feel safe enough to express themselves.
The contentious debate: should teachers and students discuss gender identity in the classroom? Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Kelly Jackson has the night off. Just an hour ago, the Francis Howell School Board meeting adjourned, capping off a night of intense debate and discussion. The proposed policies didn't just fill the boardroom, they sparked protests before the meeting even began. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live in O'Fallon, Missouri tonight with the school's opposing views. Laura.
Mike, the most concerning proposed policy change for parents and students was the human sexuality policy. They believe it could possibly harm LGBTQ+ students and even teachers.
Several proposed policy and regulation changes brought roughly 100 parents, students, and community members to the Francis Howell School Board meeting. Student Harper Schneider says one thing she doesn't agree with is a new library policy.
They're having the proposed new policies are basically going to allow someone that is not that student's parent to regulate what kind of books they're reading.
One woman spoke in support of changes to electioneering policies, not allowing campaigning during board meetings, which happened during the last election.
Not only is this a gross misuse of a board position, but allowing actions like this to occur only creates more division within our community.
But the policy change with the most opposition was one changing how human sexuality is discussed at school. It says district employees are not allowed to make, quote, values judgments on human sexuality and shall recommend those students direct those questions to their parents.
If a student is unable to talk about who they are and live authentically, it really creates a hostile educational environment. One of the big things is also to consider is that if a LGBTQ+ student experiences bullying or harassment, under this rule, they wouldn't be able to tell a teacher.
A parent of a former student who's non-binary says this policy could be really damaging.
It's heartbreaking because it's basically saying if you're transgender, we're not allowed to acknowledge that. And that's damaging to kids.
The school board briefly discussed it during the first reading. Board member Carol Lee Owens says she thinks they need to have more experts examine the sexuality policy.
Counselors, people that are familiar with all of this, people that really know, because you don't want to do anything that damages anybody.
There was no decision tonight, but the second reading and vote is scheduled for July 18th. Reporting live in O'Fallon, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.